Hi, I'm Ridley.
I'm Hanya.
I'm Lucy.
And I'm Ben. We did a group research project in GT on President Theodore Roosevelt.
Have you seen the movie Night in the Museum?
Well, Theodore Roosevelt is an important character.
We decided to travel back in time to learn more.
Theodore Roosevelt Jr. was born on October 27, 1858 in New York City. He was born into a wealthy family. He had to be homeschooled when he was a child because he was so sick. When he was born, doctors said that he would probably never reach his teenage years because he was so sick. He was weak and suffered from severe asthma. To improve his health, his father encouraged him to spend lots of time outdoors and strengthen his body by exercise. By the time he went to Harvard, he was strong enough to join the boxing team.
When he graduated from Harvard, he went to Columbia Law School and married Alice Hathaway Lee in 1880. He soon went into politics and won a seat in New York State Legislature.
On February 12, 1884, they had a baby girl named Alice.
What happened next is terrible. Both his wife and his mother died on February 14th. Roosevelt was heartbroken.
He moved to the Badlands of Dakota Territory and lived as a cowboy and cattle rancher.
After 2 years in 1886, he moved back to New York and married Edith Kerr. She had been a family friend since childhood.
They would eventually have 5 children: Theodore, Kermit, Ethel, Archibald, and Quentin.
During this time, he became the police commissioner of New York City, and he fought widespread crime and corruption.
He saw poverty and slum life. This made him want to make living conditions better for the poor.
Next, he was appointed to be the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Navy by President William McKinley.
In 1898, the Spanish-American War began. He left his Navy post to organize a volunteer army that became known as the Rough Riders.
The Menger Hotel here in San Antonio was one of his recruiting spots. The soldiers trained here in San Antonio before leaving for Cuba.
His group of Rough Riders were very successful in the war.
TR came home a war hero and became one of the most famous men in America. He was elected governor of New York that same year.
As governor, he became well known for making working conditions better and fighting against pollution.
Then in 1890, he was elected Vice President of the United States under President William McKinley.
President McKinley was assassinated in 1901, and Roosevelt, at the age of 42, became the youngest man to ever be the U.S. president.
As president, Roosevelt worked to make the U.S. one of the most powerful countries in the world. He was interested in what happened in other countries.
He also worked hard at protecting the American people. Roosevelt was the first president to stress the importance of conserving our country's natural resources for future generations.
He preserved and protected the environment for us. He created the U.S. Forest Service and created national parks, bird sanctuaries, national forests, and national monuments.
He preserved more than 170 million acres, including the Grand Canyon and this park, where Teddy Roosevelt is standing, Yosemite National Park. He left office in 1909 to travel the world. He went on a safari in Africa and sent hundreds of animals back to the Smithsonian Institution.
After 2 years of traveling, he decided to run for president again. A madman shot Roosevelt in the chest while he was on his way to give a speech. He still went and spoke for an hour and a half.
This 50-page speech and eyeglass case helped slow the bullet. The bullet was stuck in between 2 ribs and was never removed.
He lost the election and went on to other adventures. On January 6, 1919, at the age of 60, he passed away in his sleep. Here are some fascinating facts we learned as we did our iSearch project.
President Roosevelt's importance in American history is as obvious as his face carved on Mount Rushmore.
He was the first president to be submerged in a submarine and the first to fly in an airplane.
We also learned that he once swam with sharks to explore shipwreck.
He had a photographic memory.
He did not like to be called Teddy. Instead, he preferred to be called TR or Colonel.
He is the first American to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
He wrote 45 books. TR was a playful father. The children sometimes got into trouble with the White House staff for making messes or causing trouble.
Archibald and Quentin were known for dropping water balloons on the heads of the White House guards.
The Roosevelts had more than 40 pets when they lived in the White House.
These included birds, guinea pigs, a badger,
A pony, a one-legged rooster, a pig, a raccoon, cats, dogs, and rats.
The children also liked snakes.
Once Quentin rode his pony upstairs to Archie's bedroom to cheer up his brother who was sick.
Alice Roosevelt liked to wear a snake around her neck named Emily Spinach to shock people.
In 1902, Roosevelt went on a bear hunt in Mississippi.
His guide found a small bear and tied it to a tree and suggested the president shoot it. Roosevelt said it would be wrong to shoot the animal.
This made national news, and later a New York candy shop owner made a few stuffed bears and labeled them Teddy's Bears to honor the president's good deed.
The name stuck. It was later shortened to Teddy Bear and has been a very popular toy ever since.
You may know TR from the night at the museum or as the 26th president.
But we learned he was an energetic leader who fought to protect our environment and made a difference for people in the United States.